morning. I'm Teacher Bernard Ocheng, teacher of chemistry. In our previous lesson on electrochemistry, we did see factors that affects what is supposed to be discharged at the electrode. And one of the factors that we did explain in details is the position, the position of the chemical species in the electrochemical series. We also had the electrode used. Yesterday, we did talk about the electrode used. If you use an enough electrode, the products that are formed is different from when you use a different type of electrode. As in the case of copper 2 sulfate, we did see that the products that are being formed at the cathode is not the same when you use copper as the electrode and when you use carbon as the electrode. Today, we want to look at a different area, and that is the applications of electrolysis. The industries, electrolysis, the application that has been used in electrolysis. So, one application that is very important where we use the electrolysis is the extraction of reactive metals. You can remember that very reactive metals, for example, sodium, aluminium, we cannot extract them using reaction, using carbon or another possible reduction, reducing agent, but it can be easily extracted by using electrolysis. Remember, in the extraction of sodium, we use sodium chloride and during electrolysis, and in the case of aluminium, we use bauxite, which is aluminium oxide, hydrated aluminium oxide. Another application of this electrolysis is a case when you want to purify a copper. A copper can be easily purified. Remember, during the extraction of copper, we use copper pyrite as the ore, and during the process, the product that is being formed, that is the copper that is being refined, is always not very pure, and in that case, we can easily now purify it using the electrolysis by ensuring that the anode is made up of a thin pure copper strip, and the cathode is made up of, the anode in pure copper is made the anode, while the pure copper is made the cathode. That is one thing that we need to take care of. In pure copper is made the anode. The one that you want to purify is made the anode, while the pure copper is made the cathode. And this is done when the electrolyte possibly is made up of copper 2 sulfate or copper 2 nitrate solution. And during the reaction, if you switch on and the electric current is allowed to pass through, the copper from the cathode, copper ions from the solution will pick electrons from the solution, from the electrode, to form copper atoms. And once the copper atoms are formed, it is in solid state and it will be deposited on that pure copper strip, and that is the copper that will be obtained now here will be almost 9.9% pure. What happens at the anode during the reaction? The impure copper anode. Remember, the anode is made up of impure. The impure copper anode, the copper atoms will go to solution to form copper ions by these two electrons. So it is these two electrons that are being accepted by the copper ions at the cathode to form copper, the solid, and which are being deposited. So in this case here, the anode will corrode. The impure anode will corrode, will erode or dissolve in the solution. And as it dissolves, the copper, which is the anode, will go to solution to form copper ions by releasing the two electrons. That is one application that we need to take care of. Another very important application is the electroplating. Remember, most of the utensils that we use at home, some of them are labeled EPNS. The EPNS in full is electroplated nickel silver or nickel silver. Some of these are metallic utensils that we use at home. And what's the meaning of this? That those utensils are electroplated either by using silver or nickel. The essence of doing this is to make them improve in appearance. That's why they look very attractive and from they had the aesthetic value. You go for something that looks attractive, and also it also prevents corrosion, that is rusting of iron. So once it is coated, once the iron is coated, now corrosion will never occur. So electroplating generally is a process of coating a metal with another metal using an electric current. That is the essence of electroplating, and that is the meaning of electroplating. Now during electroplating, the cathode is made up of the metal to be coated. Remember that? The cathode must be made up of the metal to be coated, and we have a good example here. If you want to electroplate a spoon with silver, the silver plate is placed as the anode, that is the positive terminal of the battery, while the spoon is made the cathode. It's made the cathode, that is the negative terminal of the battery. That is when the silver atoms will stick to the spoon by acquiring electrons, and that's how the spoon will become electroplated. Another very important aspect of electrolysis application that we are going to look at is electroplating itself, as I said. In this case here, if this is a metal which is supposed to be electroplated, remember this is the negative terminal of the battery, and therefore this forms the cathode. This is the metal that is supposed to be the metal to electroplate this one here. So the metal that you want to electroplate should be made the anode. So once it is made the anode, the electrons will flow. This is the flow of electrons, will flow in this direction, and they'll be picked. They'll be picked from this end, and once the metals, the ions in the solution peak, they'll be deposited on that particular metal that you want to electroplate. So this is the flow of electrons in this direction, and then the current moves in the opposite direction. So the metal that you want to electroplate must be made the cathode, and the metal that you want to use to electroplate the other metal must be placed as the anode, so that the atoms from the anode will go to the solution and then electroplate the metal that you want to coat with this one here. So anytime you want to electroplate, for example, a spoon, you ensure that your spoon is made the cathode. And if possible, if you want to coat it with silver, you ensure that the silver is made the anode, and possibly the solution must be made up of possible silver nitrate, so that you see all nitrates are soluble. Electrolyte, the solution must be made up of the metal to electroplate. So if this one here is silver, then the solution must be made up of silver. You ensure that the solution is also made up of silver. If you want to electroplate, for example, a spoon using silver, this must be silver metal, and the solution must also be silver. It must be made up of silver ions. A good example of silver nitrate, so that the electrons can now flow easily. The electrons will flow in this direction, and they'll be picked at this cathode. They'll be building up along the cathode here, the electrons. So if it's in a case of silver ions will pick those electrons, and then they'll form silver atoms, which will now stick on the surface of this particular cathode. And that's how electroplating is done, and that's how once it is done, the metal that is electroplated will appear attractive. In other words, will increase the aesthetic value of that particular ornament, and also prevent it from corrosion, like in the case of iron, or in the case of iron, and to ensure that it does not rust. That is marks the end of this particular lesson. We'll continue with another application in our subsequent lesson. Thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed. Let's keep on listening. Thank you very much.